This is the review sheet for the statistics test on Friday. We'll start with the first question. Let me shrink this a little, sorry. That's a little better. So the scatter plot shown above, if I had to draw a trend line through here, I would draw it like this, which is a negative relationship. Choice A. Now, negative relationship means one of two things. As one increases, the other decreases, or as one decreases, the other increases. So I'm looking for a relationship that has an opposite effect on each other. A says increase, increase. That's a positive relationship. B says increase, increase. That's a positive relationship. C says increase, decrease. So that is the answer for number 2. Number 3, if I had to estimate how much activity a 50-year-old gets, well, if I look at my trend line, 50 years old would be right here, and it's about 2 hours. So that's choice D. Continuing on to the next page, question number 4. There's a scatter plot there. Which of the following would be an equation for the line of best fit? The first thing I look at is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 9. They actually all have a y-intercept of 9, so that doesn't help me. The next thing I look at is the slope of the line. The slope is positive, so that means B is out because that's a negative slope, and C is out because that's a negative slope. And now I look at the slope for A and D. A is 5, D is 1.5, so to rise over run, if I look at the first 2 points here, I don't go up 5 over 1, it's a lot less than 5, so D would be my answer. If it went up 5, I'd be all the way over 1 block. Number 5, so now that I have my equation I like, 20 weights, so I'm going to use my equation. I'm going to plug in 20 for x. So 1.5 times 20 is 30, plus 9 is 39, which is choice B. Number 6 and 7, the two-way table. So it shows students who like classical music and who play and do not play an instrument, and students who don't like classical music and play and do not play an instrument. So we're looking for the relative frequency of students that do not play an instrument and do not like classical music. So they dislike classical music, they do not play an instrument. That's 25 students. We're comparing that to the total number of students who do not play an instrument. So all these students right here do not play an instrument, so that's 28. So 25 out of 28 is D, 0.89. Number 7, which of the following is a valid conclusion about the data of the students that like classical music? That's this table here. Most do not play an instrument. That's false. 15 play an instrument, 3 do not. Of the students that like classical music, most play an instrument. That is true. 15 of them play an instrument. So that is B. Question 8 asks us to construct a scatter plot. So his yacht holds 70 passengers. Each hour he stops at the marina. Some get off, some get on. The table shows how many are on board during each hour. So at hour 1 is 30 people. Put it down at 30. 2 hours is 40. 3 is 32. 4 is 46, and 5 is 55. So the trend here, if I were to draw a line, would look something like this. Interpret the scatter plot of the data for the number of passengers on board. As time increases, so as the hours increase, the passengers on board also increase. Number 9, Sage belongs to a birdwatching club. Every 2 days she goes out and counts the number of black-hooded parakeets she sees. The scatter plot shows the number of parakeets she saw in the past 12 days. Write an equation. So the first thing I do is I look at the slope, the y-intercept, which is 3. And now I look at the slope. So I need to find 2 points that are perfectly on here for me to determine the slope. So this one right here is a good one, and if you notice right here on the line is perfect. So rise over run, I would go up from 4 to 6, that's 2, and then over from 2 to 6, that's 4. So up 2 over 4. So my slope is 1/2. So my equation is y equals mx plus b. So y equals 1/2 x plus 3 is my equation. Use the equation to make a conjecture about the number of parakeets you saw on the 18th day. So I'm going to plug in 18 for x. That's my equation. So 9 plus 3. So on the 18th day, she most likely saw 12 parakeets. So we use our equation to predict other values from the table or the graph. Number 10, there's 195 male and 126 female students. That's the total. So 195 male, 126 female. So my total students would be the total of these two together, which is 321 total students. And then it says 110 males ride the bus and 84 females ride the bus. So I can total those, that's 194. And now to get the students that don't ride the bus, I take 195, my total number of males, minus 110. So 85 boys do not ride the bus. And then females, I take 126 and subtract 84, and I get 42, and then I add those up. So 127 students total do not take the bus. On the last page, there's a two-way table. So it says find the relative frequencies by row. So I'm looking at this row right here. Students that take Chinese and Spanish is 30 out of 95. I'm using that row, so this is my total for that row. Is 0.31. 65 out of 95 is 0.69, and 95 out of 95 is 1.0. So that's a row relative frequency of the survey by row. The next row, 20 out of 25 is 0.8. 5 out of 25 is 0.2. And 25 out of 25 is 1.0. Then it says interpret. So if I look at this, so to interpret this, if we notice most, looking at this row right here, most students who take Chinese do not take Spanish. So if you notice right here, 69%, 0.69 of the students who take Chinese do not take Spanish. Likewise, most students, now I'm looking at this row, who do not take Chinese take Spanish. So it's kind of just telling what the relative frequency or what the chart shows. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. The test again is this week.